Hi, I'm CJ.
I'm Brandon.
I'm also Brandon.
And I'm Johnny Zero, and we are Blamethrower, and you're watching Canadian Beats.
So I'll run away till I find a place right for me.
Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. My name's Nicole Wolfe, and we are in downtown Oshawa in a very important club to you guys. We're in the Moustache Club. Why is the Moustache Club so important to Blamethrower?
This is where we got our start. I think I speak for the whole band when I say that we love playing this venue. It's got the best sound in Oshawa, and we love the people that come out here. We love being able to showcase our material on this stage. It's every night's a different night, and we really love being here.
Shout out to Jacob for letting us use this wonderful facilities. Thank you. Yeah, I've been here a few times actually for shows. Most recently, a couple months ago, I think, and it's a great place. It's always, my favorite spot to stop in Oshawa. So glad to be here. Now, I ran into you guys a couple months ago in the wintertime in Barrie at the Fox Lounge. You guys were taking a little tour up north and played with Monday Matinee. Since then, I've really been following you guys, and I'm happy to have this interview with you because you've got some exciting news coming up. What's going on in Blamethrower land in the next month or so?
We are releasing our first full-length album entitled Ground Beef for Breakfast in honor of Kyle Homan and the Homan family, and we are excited to release that new material, which is stuff that we've curated over the last 4 to 10 years. Decidedly, it's a very different number. A lot of this material is stuff that we've worked on together over the last 3 to 4 years with different lineups, and we're very, very excited to launch this as the band we are now. And it's a different version of the same material that this club has heard over the last 3 or 4 years, and we're really excited to share it with everybody in a professional manner for the first time. And it's a follow-up to some of the stuff that we released last year just on YouTube, and we're excited to get the rest of it out there.
So you mentioned that this album is in tribute to Kyle, and Kyle is a former band member of Blamethrower who's no longer with us. And this is not the only tribute you've made towards him. You actually had a lyric video posted online about a year ago, Home and Heartbreak, as well, that was dedicated towards Kyle. Is that correct?
Yeah. When Kyle passed, it came upon us all to do something. And we were all quite upset by his passing, and I had a really, really catchy riff in my head for a while around the time that started, and it was something that I thought we would work on, and I brought it to these guys, and within a half an hour that whole song was pretty much polished. We went over it a few times. We discussed lyrics and how we wanted to portray that song publicly, and I mean, it's a little really nail on the head kind of stuff. We don't really use any poetry with that one. It's just straight up, what it is. And we're really happy with the way it turned out. And we're really happy with the way the video turned out.
Well, cheers to Kyle, and I'm sure he's watching on as you guys go on. Awesome. And we will definitely, if you're wondering how to find that song, we'll put the link up on the interview so fans can check that out. So, Ground Beef for Breakfast. For someone who's never heard Blamethrower, who's never been in the audience, how would you describe your sound?
So we kind of take a lot of influences from a lot of different bands like Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Cash. So we kind of got this punky country meld going on. And Ground Beef for Breakfast is kind of it's also another tribute to Kyle, and it sort of really encompasses the kind of fast-paced kind of attack at this album. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, how do your songs come together? You said you've been working on them for quite a few years. What's the process for getting a song together?
Most of our stuff comes together in like a partially complete format where somebody will bring an idea in and they'll bring it to the table and we'll sort of say, okay, well, we like where this is going. We like some ideas here. Some stuff is more complete than others. Some stuff is almost totally done, lyrics and everything. But we basically build on it in the rehearsal space. And different ideas will get fleshed out. Some stuff will get shortened, some stuff will get lengthened, some stuff will get added. Somebody will say, okay, I've got a really good idea for a bridge here, that sort of thing. It is a collaborative process, even though some of the stuff does come already sort of formed. It's sort of best of both worlds of like the individual's passion and then the whole group really grabbing the reins and running with it.
I like the collective effort, and it seems like you've got a real eclectic group of people here who are all bringing something different to the table. Now, how does your album translate to the stage? You know, you've put it together in studio. Do the songs translate the same on stage, or do they take on a completely different feel?
I think we try to keep it as authentic as possible. We don't really like to add too many other elements when we're doing the album that we can't emulate on stage. Everything is pretty much the way we come together when we do it down in the basement, and we just try to be as real as we can be down there without trying to add too much.
And how will you celebrate the release of your debut album?
Drinking. Yeah, friends and family. I think this club is going to be pretty packed with a lot of the people who have been with us since the beginning. This isn't something that we pre-released tickets to or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it'll just be as, again, another emulation of as our authenticity, wherein we have the people that we want and the people that want to be here, who have supported us through the entire thing.
You probably mentioned the date of the thing, too.
It's also September 22nd,
I was going to ask.
2017. That's probably another part of the interview. Yeah, we're looking forward to sharing what we've come up with in a really, really concrete, artistic fashion with our friends and family and the ones who have stuck by our side since, our inauguration in, 2013 or...
2014, according to insurance.
Sure. All right.
And after the release of your album, do you have any plans for the rest of the year?
So, obviously, we want to play as many shows as possible. But, I mean, that's our friend Johnny here. He just had a young baby. So, it's kind of like we're playing it by ear. Obviously, we want to make the CD release show as awesome as we can. And play as many shows as we can afterwards. But it's really kind of, a day-by-day situation where we're figuring it out. Just trying to make the release as good as we can.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions to kind of hone in on who Blamethrower is, so people who might not know you can really get a chance to know who you are. What would be your go-to cover song that you might play at a show?
Individual or band?
Well, let's pick a selection for each of you.
For me, I don't know. Maybe Turn the Page, Bob Seger.
I've really enjoyed our cover of Cocaine Cowgirl. I think that would be the one that I would pick.
Well, I think it might end up on the record or so. Do this pretty dope cover of Catholic Schoolgirls Rule by Chili Peppers, so I'm pretty down with that one.
My favorite one that we've always done would be either Zombie by Cranberries or House of the Rising Sun. I really think that as a band we execute both of those in a way that was not really discovered by other bands, and that I just think is a really good example of who we are and what we are and how we like to do our covers. Just a different spin on classic songs that just really come through differently through our interpretation of things than other people's necessarily. It's stuff that, you know, we strive to do stuff that other people haven't really done before, but it's still really rock-esque, and, you know, we try to keep it really catchy.
I think you're going to have a hard time answering this one. Who would be the troublemaker in the band?
I don't know that there's an answer to that. All of the above?
I'd easily have to say probably this guy right here, Johnny. I don't know. It just depends on your.
Everybody immediately look at.
depe-
You can test that later. You can look at the camera and see who everybody looked at first, and that's probably where everybody's mind went.
I think, you know.
At myself.
Yeah. I think because there's two Brandons that, you know, that kind of troubleness is divided amongst both the Brandons, and so we're kind of diffused in the group. So I think it's between CJ and Johnny for sure.
Now, if you guys were to go on, we'd like to party. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. If you guys were to go on tour, besides the obvious gear and instruments, what would be the one item you'd want to bring on tour with you?
If I could call my wife and kid an item, it's hard to say. Just yeah, I guess I'm glued to my cell phone. These guys would say it was my cell phone, but if I had to say it, it would be either my wife or my wife's little teddy bear, which would remind me of her while we're on tour, and I would snuggle up with that.
I don't know. I think cell phones really big, obviously. I mean, that's pretty much everybody. I don't know. Maybe I'm a pretty big nerd, so I'll probably bring my DS or something. I don't know. Here you go.
I gotta say laptop because I'm working. I'm always working when I'm not on stage. I always got stuff to do.
I'd probably bring like stack of sweet CDs to keep me sane.
Now, being an indie band in today's society, you know, coming out and performing your shows is only one part of it. And to connect with today's society, social media is obviously a big part. You know, begrudgingly for some bands or whatever it may be. I mean, if you want to connect with your fans and that's what their expectation is, it's out there. So what would be your collectively favorite social media platform to communicate with your fans?
I'll grab that one. All right. So for Brandon here, it's probably Facebook. And I'm the Instagram guy and the meme lord of the band. So, but we do have it. It's available. It's there. But you know, if it's being funny on Instagram or being really having a specific voice on Facebook, which is all due to this guy here, that's the way we like to do it.
Now, if you had to give up music, sadly, what would you replace music with in your life?
I pretty much already have it lined up. I'm a tattoo artist by day, and art has always been my first thing, so that's probably what I'd go with first.
Oh, that's tough. Obviously, my home life is very important to me right now, but if it was a personal thing, I love driving. It would be either my bike or my car, or even, like if I had to give up playing, it would be listening to it all the time.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with the sweet release of death.
What was the question again? I don't even remember after the answers.
Could you replace music with anything?
Oh yeah, dancing for sure. It's easy. It's so easy. I would dance. Dance my life away.
Well, guys, it's been a real pleasure to speak with you today. And in just a couple weeks' time, actually just under a month, you'll be back here on stage performing your debut album in front of your friends and family. I wish you nothing but the best and hope the release goes well. You're welcome. Thank you so much, guys. This has been Nicole Wolfe from Canadian Beats with the always charming Blamethrower, and we'll catch you next time.
So